So, Michael, all this time I've known you, I always figured you knew everything about music. You had to have this perfect, understanding of every. I mean, we heard "Here Comes the Sun" in your live show, and I thought you were really versed in the Beatles. But I've come to find out that you really weren't schooled in that area.
Well, this week, or within the last 2 weeks, I just heard from an old friend who really showed me the Beatles for the first time in the fall of 1969. Now, that was not when the Beatles started happening. In fact, the first Beatle album I ever heard was Abbey Road. I didn't know about Sgt. Pepper or the White Album or Rubber Soul or Dollar. I mean, I worked my way backwards through it. And I gotta tell you, I didn't like Abbey Road when I had to force myself to listen to it over and over and over because I couldn't understand why it sounded way out. I didn't get it musically. I just didn't. I listened to Maxwell Silver Hammer and I thought, wow, that's so depraved. I looked at it like a retailer that I was, but this friend of mine contacted me in the last 2 weeks. His name was Jamie Richard. Jamie, I've known since the fall of '69. He not only introduced me to the Beatles, he played Simon and Garfunkel for me for the very first time. And he traveled all over the country with me, all over. He was a roadie in my early days when I couldn't afford a real roadie, somebody to really help me. But he traveled around with us, and we had some really great times together. And I just heard about him, and it was totally as a result of him finding this on Facebook or on the website. I'm not sure which. I guess it was on the Facebook page that I heard from him. It's on there still. But I've had a chance to talk with him a few times, and it's one of the great things about having social media and finding that I could connect with. So I have had so many wonderful opportunities in my life to meet great people. And my life has been peppered with them, and I include you, by the way, in that group, Eddie Dornack. But friends from Florida, and people who've helped me do all kinds of things, and people who've designed Iceberg machine stuff, and people who've designed album covers, like my friend Frank Murray, who was with Disney, a graphic designer. I think he's now retired. My friend Sam Zambito, who engineered Iceberg Does It Live, who's I consider him close. I don't talk to him very often, but anytime I do talk to him, it's like there has been no time passed. We can immediately take up our conversation and feel totally comfortable with each other. And all over the country, I've been able to have friends. This is just terrific that I can connect now with everybody. So I just wanted to tell you how much I like the website.